Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. So for this one we only have some Avatar Legends Realms Collide videos that they've put out to sort of promote the game. So of course the big one here is this one with four of the avatars interacting together. It's a cool animated little clip. But we do also have, they're putting out a little video clip focusing on the leader character for each of the four nations in the game. So they have Katara and Toph out so far for the Water Tribe and the Earth Kingdom. I think Zuko's going to be next for the Fire Nation. And then Tenzin, of course, is the Air Nomad leader in the game because the avatars are treated separately. So that's why it's not Aang. So let's take a look at the Katara video here. So they just show her screen where you can look at her character and the little bit of animation that they have there. Then they cut to more of a video that they put together using the model for Katara and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. If you notice it too much, like the little water circle thing there was pretty small compared to like the attack that she actually did. So there's a little bit of inconsistency in the animation, but it's pretty nice overall. Here's the Toph video, again showing her menu screen stuff here. And then the clip here, pretty nice. The only criticism here is just that you do notice that the animation of the rocks coming out of the ground is very much just sort of placed on the ground rather than anything specifically happening. But, you know, it's fine. Do we expect them to do crazy stuff here with these? Not sure. So that's that. We'll get the other two in the coming days, I'm guessing, and then we'll take a look at this in slightly better quality here. So it's a 15-second clip. I'm pretty sure this is just a cut of a larger video because the file that they posted on the Discord, which I downloaded, the file name says Social Intro Trailer Cuts, so I'm assuming it is cut from something bigger. But let's just watch this. And yeah, that's it. So it's really like 10 seconds of animation, and the last 5 seconds are just the kind of intro kind of thing here saying coming soon. So very cool to see this opening shot here of just, hey, look, it's four avatars standing next to each other. This is something we like never get to see, like four avatars in person effectively standing here, obviously taken from their own era to be in the non-canon kind of timeline that this game takes place in. So we can have this crazy stuff that's not canon happen where they all interact together. It's cool to see them all preparing for the battle here side by side. Really interesting stuff how it's done here. It's nicely animated as well. I don't think we know who the animation studio is or anything like that, but it's cool to see new Avatar animation. And then we jump into the action here, and you can see in the background, this is just basically air nomad kind of troops fighting Shattered Skull troops. That's Chuan Yu's forces in the background. These are not notable characters. These are just like the generic troops that are in the game. And then we see Korra join the battle. Pretty nice waterbending move here as she takes out a bunch of Shattered Skulls. Then Roku cuts in with some firebending here, which is pretty nice. Though we don't see him do damage necessarily here. It's just we see the martial arts in action. But still pretty nice. And then Kyoshi jumps from the sky here. Lands, big earthbending move. Sends these Shattered Skulls flying into the air. And you can see them launched over here. So that's pretty nice to see. And then the game just ends with, coming soon. So I think it's a very cool thing. It's a nice kind of marketing thing. The only point I would make in this is still no gameplay footage being presented in their videos. The stuff here, like this is gameplay right here. This is actual footage from the game showing one of the menus. But then we cut to promo material. And then, of course, this video is, I guess, just an intro cutscene or a story cutscene type thing. We don't even know, like, is this a regular thing that's going to be in the game? Is there a lot of animation like this as part of the game? Or is this literally just in the lead up to the launch of the game, it's a fancier animated trailer? There's a lot of questions like that they haven't really answered in terms of like what is this game? Because a lot of people saw this kind of little trailer here and were like, cool, really, really interesting. But then you saw it on social media, the immediate loss of interest when it was revealed that this is for a mobile game. That still is this thing that they haven't got over. They've not presented the game well enough that people don't just view it as the mobile game that I'm not interested in. But then people who do look a little bit closer and find footage of the game, I think are very turned off by what they see, because it's not a very Avatar-y style game. Yes, there's some fun visuals around the marketing of this, but I think there's a reason a lot of this stuff is not necessarily featuring gameplay footage, because what is gameplay footage of Korra or Katara or Toph in this game? And it's just her, a tiny little model of Katara at the front of like a troop of waterbenders. And it's just this kind of like numbers going back and forth as they kind of damage each other. It's not really dynamic. Like this trailer is getting across dynamic animation fighting, but the actual gameplay is nothing really like that. So sure, I guess this is more of a story trailer type thing, but I think there's a lot that they haven't said about this game that isn't very clear to a lot of people. And so I've said it many times, and I just think it's inevitable with a game like this. I think a lot of people are probably going to try this game out when it comes out and then immediately bounce off it, because it's not... it doesn't seem to have that much Avatar content necessarily in it. Like I said before, I'm going to do my best to cover this with what I can. But my fear with this game is that unless there is a lot of story content that they are holding back for this non-canon story, I don't think just gameplay of this game in action is going to interest that many people. Maybe people who are interested inherently in this style of game that this actually is, the kind of tactical, build your village type thing, that sort of thing. But the actual Avatar aspect of it, which is what my channel will focus on, I'm not sure there's much here. And then I think we have to talk about this bit at the end here of like, we've now known about this game for quite a while. It's technically out in 3 countries already. They've had a technical test. It's out in, Vietnam, Indonesia, and the Philippines. But they've not said a thing that gives details about where it's coming out next, when global release is actually going to be. Coming soon means nothing with this game, because they've not said anything to give a real sense for when the game is actually coming out. And I think it's becoming a big frustration here, because you've got people's eyes on your game here because of your nice animation. And then you just say coming soon and really don't represent the game that well. That's just very odd to me. And it just, to me, the whole time through, I have felt a massive disconnect between the communication about this game and what they're showing, the visuals, and what's going on here. It just feels like it's being completely done in a vacuum, and even I think a lot of the hardcore fans on like the Discord are getting a little bit frustrated about how like the question comes up like every day, multiple times a day, like when's the game coming out? And all they can say is coming soon. They can't even say that like, well, this is the region that's coming up next for the, pre-launch type stuff. They can't say what country's next. They can't say when the next country is getting added in, even though it's apparently meant to be in like a week or two. But is it actually a week or two, or is it in a month? Is the game global launching in a couple of weeks? Is it a couple of months? Is it 6 months? Is it over 6 months? Like, there's so many questions about this game that they have not said, that it makes the game come across as disorganized, that the main person communicating with the fans doesn't seem to have like any concrete information on what actually is happening with this game. And that is a bit of a problem when people are interested in it for basically reasons that are not the gameplay. And that's, I think, the real frustrating thing in all of this, is that the game, I don't think, is going to appeal to a lot of Avatar fans. I think that's just the truth of it. It's what I've seen from a lot of people who have checked out the game, who I've like interacted with before. And it is just the reality of this is that Avatar fans, we want a good game, and I'm not sure that this is necessarily that. I think there's some potential in it. If they do some storytelling, if there's some nice animated cutscenes throughout the game, if they could introduce new and interesting characters, introduce novel characters, that's good. But if they can't do that, then what do they actually have? And that's my biggest fear with this game overall. That I am interested in pretty much everything Avatar that comes out. But I do feel like it's being stretched with a game like this. That how interested should I be in this or not? It's not doing that much for me and a lot of other Avatar fans. So I hope they maybe have some reveals here that by the time they get to global launch that the game has a little bit more to it from an Avatar perspective, because I think there is a real risk of just like the interest being pretty low if they don't present things, they don't communicate well enough, all these type of things. So in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on a lot of these videos related to Avatar Legends Realms Collide. If you have played it yourself, what are your thoughts on it? What are your expectations for it based on how you've seen it so far? What do you think the fandom's going to react to it? Definitely want to know your ideas on the game. But that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.